Why do you think I named him Marty Fake Newsman? Because he's fake news. All his little fake fouls, it's fake news. Dricus hit him with a nice uppercut. He took 4 ounces of, a leather glove to the eyeball, and then he tried to claim an eye poke and get a 5-minute break. It's the same moves he was pulling at me in the first title fight when I kicked him in the liver and he said, "Oh, no, Sean, let me get 5 minutes to recover." That's why we call him Marty Fake Newsman. All his calls are fake news. He's a fake person, and he got his ass beat. I was excited to see Dricus get that win. I sent him a bunch of cases of Real American beer, and I know he was chugging them in the celebration after that. So that's my boy now. Love Dricus. He's the real one true king from Africa, and it was awesome to see him whoop Marty Fake Newsman's ass.
As the best I've seen Dricus look. He looked less out of position when he finished punching, when he initiated punching. Sometimes he still, did his thing, but he looked really good. Some of the shots he was throwing, the selection, and then the timing of the knee for that single leg, that was a good chess move from their team. I wanted Kamaru to get it done, but again, just shows how good Dricus is. And good on him. It's good for us anyway, just for African MMA, because off this, every time one of these happen, because look, another 2 African fighters fight in the main event, the whole continent is gonna watch. Even though it's just a fight night, they're still gonna watch and support, and I think this is just gonna expand the talent pool in African MMA more.
My man, I think it's all respect. With me and Izzy, that whole thing got out of context. I think we have so much respect for each other after sharing the octagon. I have respect for any man. And after being in there with Usman tonight for 5 rounds, that man deserves all the flowers in the world for the career that he has had. So does Adesanya. These are incredible athletes, and we as Africans, we inspire our whole continent. And there's not a lot of us in the UFC, especially at this level, at the top. And it's only been an honor. Tonight was the second time ever that it's been all African main event. And I've had the honor of being part of both of those. And that's a massive honor. But, beef, there is no beef. We represent our continent, and we do it so very proudly.
You got to give Usman his credit, because it looked like that was going to be finished in the first round. That was sheer will, toughness, durability, chin, whatever you want to call it, and just good old-fashioned grit and determination to make it to 5 rounds, and then be the one in the final 10 seconds swinging like a maniac,
And one of the things about Usman, I always talk about this, I always call him LL Cool J, because he's always like, the soft-spoken voice, he's got the shades on, he's like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest welterweight of all time. And arguably, but it's just always funny. But then when he gets in there, he becomes the nightmare, and he's mean mugging the whole time. And it's almost like Hakeem Dawood do. He's
got
way
the
worse.
mean mug. Yeah, he got the real mean
But
mug.
he's always just like. But then at the last 10 seconds of the fight, he's sprinting at him. Now he's throwing bombs and combinations, and then DDP hits him with the last shot, that last right hand, and turns him around, and he comes back and he mean mugs him. I'm just like, bro, where was this the whole fight? Where was this?
DDP revealed tremendous character. I have no problem with Kamaru getting beat in this fight. I don't know what this fight was for. I think secretly it was for a #1 contendership. I think privately Kamaru was told, if you win this, we'll put you in for a title. I don't know that to be true. I'm only sharing what difference does it make, right? Kamaru is a top-ranked 70-pounder. He has not lost at 70. Aside from world title matches, I got no problem with him getting beat tonight. I don't think he looked bad. I don't think any of the rumors that he's hurt and his knees are bad and he can't train, I don't think any of those are true. I think he's a top fighter in the world. I think that DDP got put on display.
I don't know that I have any questions anymore about Dricus Du Plessis. He showed great takedown defense. His striking looked really good. His cardio was on point as it usually is. I thought Dricus Du Plessis fought as good a fight as he has fought in a really long time. And if you are going to bounce back from the ultimate disappointment of losing your championship, that is how you do it. 49-46 on 2 cards, 50-45 on the other. And he hurt Kamaru on a number of occasions. That's not something we have seen many times over the course of Usman's career.
And a lot of people, you know, when you've been in this sport for as long as Kamaru has, and he's won everything there is to win, there's always the question mark, like, does he have the passion? Does he still enjoy to get up for fights and train and have that willingness to win during a fight? And I think he put all of that to rest with that 5th round performance, you know, where he was largely dominated for 4 rounds, but he came back to win that 5th round. Like, he was trying to win that fight. And like you said, I think size was definitely a factor.
Du Plessis, bro, I talked to him in the locker room after his last fight when he lost to Chimaev. He was 220 pounds. The only dude I could think of at middleweight that is that big is Alex Pereira. So he's one of the biggest middleweights ever, you know, when he steps into the octagon. So it was a tough test for Usman. He definitely still has that fighting spirit. But yeah, middleweight is going to be tough for him, especially after watching that fight. He's going to have to go back down to welterweight.
But what I found was, because Kamaru Usman seemed like he was a little bit slower than DDP. DDP was the faster fighter, but also too, you could tell, because DDP was having more of an impact on every time he clubbed him or anytime they collided bodies, that it threw Usman off, that Usman started to feel like he needed to load up a little bit more. And that's when you get the loopy shots. Kamaru Usman started loading up, trying to sit down and then wing his big overhand right or his big left hook. And that just wasn't the way to have success against DDP.
Dricus looked very sharp. I think he made those gaps in wrestling that we talked about that he needed to improve in. And Dricus has unreal power. Like, whatever this guy touches you with, even if he doesn't get a clean hit, you can see he's just very, very powerful. Usman looked a little outgunned, you know, like he wasn't ready to take the power. And then when he was able to get takedowns, he didn't control like I thought he would have, you know, and that's when he needed to do a little better, just controlling him or hurting him when he took him down. And I don't think it's a retiring performance from Usman, because he did take some shots and he hung in there and pushed through it, but he did get wobbly legs a lot of times. It put him to skate a couple times, so it wasn't his best performance for sure.
But yeah, I mean, Du Plessis won. I know he's calling for the title shot. I don't think it makes sense. I think him and Brendan Allen make the most sense in the world right now. None of these guys are trying to fight Brendan, and Brendan's been calling out Du Plessis before he was champion. So I think that makes the most sense, and hopefully they make that. Other than that, I thought that, I don't know what Usman was thinking. I don't know why he was like upset about the decision. I thought it was a clear decision for DDP.
He thought a 50-45. Yeah, I agree with him. I don't think it was 50-45. I think he won 1 round. There was 1 round that he won, but I definitely felt DDP was the clear victor in this fight. The footwork battle going from southpaw to orthodox, throwing a high kick from southpaw, throwing a switch kick from orthodox, not over sprawling on a takedown. And he said it before, in this fight, we're going to be composed. He rocked him multiple times on the feet, and he was very composed. And that's an athlete who's becoming more aware of what's going on in the fight and executing and seeing things going southpaw to orthodox. I mean, his execution last night was almost damn near flawless.
It played out kind of how I thought, except I was even more impressed with Du Plessis' ability to fight the takedowns, to scramble up. He showed some wrestling in that fight. When Usman even got him down for a second, the way he scrambled up, got a single leg, pressed him up against the fence. And dude, his awkward style works for him so well in the striking department. He does things his way, but my God, is it effective? And holy shit, he must really crack pretty damn good.
Let me say a couple of things about the fight. 100% put a beat down on Kamaru Usman, but I'll tell you, for a 39-year-old kid moving up, heavier weight class, man, he is a tough motherfucker, man. Like, I got to tell you, man, resilience and, he 100% lost the fight. That's a little confusing at the end, because he almost made you believe he thought he won the fight. But I mean, he did get rocked probably 5 or 6 good times where his legs buckled. How he stays in that fight is a testament to his willpower and fortitude.
Dricus was beating up Usman so badly. Let me tell you, Dricus was beating on Usman so badly in some of the rounds. Usman was complaining to the ref about like some of the shots he was getting hit with. Dricus would land a flush head kick on Usman, and Usman would look at the ref and go, "Come on, really? You're gonna keep letting this happen to me, ref?" I am so surprised that Kamaru Usman was not brutally KO'd in this fight. On about 20 occasions, and I'm not exaggerating, maybe I am a little bit, on about 12 occasions, 10 to 12 occasions in this fight, Dricus Du Plessis looked like he was about to flatline KO Kamaru Usman, and somehow, some fucking way, Usman managed to survive. I'm talking knees up the middle, straight into the fucking chin of Usman as he ducks down into them. Should be a flatline KO. Somehow it wasn't.
But I would say that I thought it was like a DDP. I wouldn't say a masterclass, but it was certainly an evolution to something. And because it was a rebound to his worst fight, one of his worst beatings we've seen, and obviously he loses his title. You never know in what form you're going to see a guy return after something like that. It can be a mental factor going into it. I thought he looked very sharp, and we've always known him to be a cerebral fighter, but to kind of rein it in the way he did. We've seen him in fights like against Tavares and who was the other? Derek Brunson. Remember those earlier fights? Like he would kind of just lose his shit at some point and start running downhill like a toddler, or like a drunk toddler, and just winging punches, very awkward momentum swing. Looks like he's off balance through these tapes. We didn't see any of that. I thought that this was probably the best version I've seen of DDP so far.
Most important thing that we've prepared for was for Dricus to, we call it Dricus 2.0, to be super, super composed during the whole fight and not go crazy like not the Sean fight, the fight before that. And so we had two things to prove here. Firstly, to make sure that his wrestling is on point after the Hamzat, who didn't want to fight. And then with his stand-up, not stop evolving with his stand-up. And so the game plan was 100% to, doesn't matter what, to completely stay composed. And that's what he did. I think this is the best I've seen Dricus ever, or the world has seen him ever. And this was a high-pressure fight. I mean, this was our comeback fight after 10, 11 months off. So I'm very happy.
At the end of the day, Du Plessis is a big, strong guy who strikes well, who's pretty well-rounded. But I said this when he was first coming up, when people weren't familiar with him. You can't judge a book by its cover. He's better technically. He's better in little nuances, little subtle things he does. Like little subtle things. He'll step out of range. He'll move his head just when a big shot's coming. Just little, like almost by accident. Like, he just missed that. He doesn't get enough credit sometimes. I think DC gave him credit though for being as clever, as technically good as he is, because he don't look it. He just looks like a big, strong guy.